Hi guys, it's Eileen from Now There's a Crafty Idea, and I'm here with a tutorial. It's my first ever tutorial, so bear with me if I get things wrong. So I've been using these little, I call them like extra journaling space, fold away page. That's generally what I call them, my fold away page. And I think I have seen these on somebody else's channel, and it was a couple of years ago, so I do apologise if somebody's already done a tutorial on these and I don't give you credit you for it. I'm really sorry. I haven't seen a full tutorial on them, I've just seen the actual thing used. So these fold away pages are just a great idea to pop into a journal, and they're a great idea if your journal's running out and you want extra journaling space, or even these ones, which is like a hidden paper clip, because it's another way of putting a little bit more journaling space in there. And I'll show you what happens if you undo that, and then you can open it up and it's all extra journaling space. And so you've got two sheets there, and then obviously on the back as well it's extra journaling space, and it's just a cute idea. It's something that I quite like making these. And then you just obviously tie them closed with a little ribbon. I'm very lucky that I've got a mum who saves every single ribbon from every package, and every single thing she buys, she saves me the ribbons. So I've got an abundance of little ribbons, and it makes for good binding on these little bits and pieces. So yeah, you can make them out of a variety of materials. On this one I've just used a 6x6, put a paper clip on the back. It's a hidden paper clip, so all I did was put an extra piece of card on the back to hide the paper clip. And yeah, that's just like a 6x6, a couple of 6x6 pieces. And the only rule with this, when it comes to the size, it doesn't matter what size your paper is, you can make them any size you want, but what you need is the need to be square. There you go, your journaling space, and on the back it's just two 6x6 pieces. So the need to be square, and that's the only thing you need. So going to close these. I did one the other day, and this is to put in my latest journal, and I've just collaged on the front with fabric and some papers and a fussy cut butterfly and a label. And this one I made out of coffee dyed paper, and so you can see that's just, I cut the two pieces of A4 coffee dyed paper into like a square, and then put the two squares together in. That's how much space you can add to your journal. And then again, you've got all this extra space down here, and you've got like extra space. And these are really great. You can use them as tuck spots. So this one will be a little tuck spot, and that's why I've run the ribbon top to bottom, because when this is in the journal and it's going to be stuck on the page here and here, and then obviously if the ribbon was running that way and you went to tuck things in, it's going to get caught on the ribbon. So I've run the ribbon top to bottom so that things will just tuck straight in there. So these are just a few that I've made. I've got a little store of them, and when I'm making a journal I just pop one or two in, especially the little paper clip ones, because I just think they're so cute. And they're great if you put these to hold a piece of ephemera, and then as well as holding the piece of ephemera, it's a little hidden journaling spot, or a fold away page as I call them. So I'm going to do them with these. This is just a couple of 6x6 pieces. You can buy the little books with the scrapbooking paper. This is actually the paper and not the card. You can make them with the card, but I think the stiffer the card is, it just makes it a little bit more difficult to make them. to get the folds, and obviously it's going to add more bulk to your book. I mean, that is quite thin, but this one, which has been made with music paper and then another paper over the top, you can see it's got quite a bit of bulk onto it. So, you know, it's up to you. You can make them, you can do coffee dye paper and then a pattern paper on top, or you can do music paper. I think I've done that one is out of music paper, and then I've just take that off. I've actually put journaling paper on top, and it does look great and it gives you that extra effect, but it does give you the extra thickness. And if you're anything like me, my journals are absolutely packed full. And so anything like this is just going to bulk them out as well. But if you make it out of just 6x6 sheets, it's quite thin, it's not going to take up much room, and you've got all that extra journaling space. So here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this one corner to corner. It's really simple. Make sure I get a good fold. I should have a bone folder, but I can't find it at the moment. And then with this one, I'm going to fold it. So that one was folded with the pattern up. This one I'm going to fold it so that the pattern's inside, so the pattern's down. And there's a reason for that, and you'll see why in a moment. So then, whichever way your fold is, you want to turn it over. So if your fold is that way, you want to turn it over, and then the next fold is going to be this way, so that the pattern is on the inside. And then you've got halfway across. So you do the same thing, so that you're creating quarters, and you've got that fold down the middle. And the folds are running different ways. So that one's running that way, and that one's running that way. And what this does is it means that you can close it up. And then, so we'll do the same with this one. So with this one, because this fold is going this way, we're going to do the quarter folds opposite, on the opposite side. And I'm trying to make sure I've got them square. It does help if you get everything square. And then when this one folds, so you took this cross fold is going to give you the tuck, and then there you go. And then burnish that. I'm just going to use my scissors because I can't find my bone folder. I'm really going to have a good tidy up of this craft space. You know what it's like, you keep buying more stuff and then you've lost things, and then you can't find this and you can't find that. So what you've got is, you've got two squares folded, one with the pattern inside, one with the pattern outside. Now, the next part of this, the reason you've done that is because you want, when this opens up, you want all the blank space on one side and all the pattern space on the other. So that's why you've got to fold them opposite. And that means that you've got all of your journaling space on one side and then your pattern paper on the other. If you're just using coffee dyed paper, it obviously doesn't matter really which way you fold it. It's only if you're using a pattern paper. You want the pattern opposite on each one. And then what we're going to do is, we're going to just glue this down. Now I'm going to use a glue stick. I do have my art glitter glue, but I need a little bit more time to move things about and get things in the right order. And the glue sticks are quite good for this because you're not going to be putting a lot of stress on this, and it's actually going to be tied up in the book, so you're not going to have any stress on it that way. Now you just put this square onto this square. And like I said, you need a little bit more room. I hope you can forgive my dog. He's just letting me know that someone's in the garden. Even though there's like a house full of people, he still feels the need to be a guard dog. He's such a sweetheart though. He's been a working dog, and he's now retired because his back legs are getting quite bad, and he's got arthritis, and bless him, he's just stir crazy. And there we go. And you just want to make sure everything's squared up. Give you another crease. And that basically is your hidden journaling space. Now, you can have it so that the pattern's showing on the top, but what that means is when you pull it out, that's going to be your journaling space. Now on this one it doesn't matter because it's a lovely journaling spot. This paper would be great for journaling on too, because it's got quite an antique effect, but it's quite plain. And it means that when you fold it that way, you've got the plain there. So if you were going to stick it into your book and you wanted to stick it in with this corner, it means that your journaling space is going to be there. And then obviously, but if you were using a paper that you wanted journaling on one side and pattern on the other, this would then become the top of your pocket. And then what I would do is, what I've done on these ones, is to just decorate it, just do a little bit of collage on it, stick an image on it. On this one I've put a little bit of fabric, frayed fabric, and then a lovely little image of a bird in a tree. On this one I've used fabric and little fabric roses, and that just gives you the option to keep that nice and decorated, so that when you open it up, all of your plain paper is on the inside where you want to journal, and then this becomes your tuck, so like that, and then this would be all decorated. So I'll demonstrate that on this one. So this one, sorry, just move that. That would be the front. You would have your ribbon going from top to bottom, and then you would just open it like that, and that would be your journaling paper. Because on this side, as you can see, it's quite a heavily patterned paper, so you wouldn't necessarily want to journal on that bit, and it would add a little bit extra, because when you're opening it up, it's got a little bit of extra pattern on that side. But it doesn't really, I mean, when it comes to putting them in the books, these are quite nice as floating pages, so that you can move them from around in your book. If you were going to use them as a tuck spot, then that's it, they're kind of static. They're great, and you've got that extra space when you need it, but I tend to use these more as a floating thing, so I just would paper clip them in. So if that was your page, say this is your page, I would just pop a paper clip on, and then you can move that about, and you've got your journaling space wherever you need extra space. And it's great because sometimes, you know, you might start a page and you might think you've got loads to talk about, and you'll get halfway down and you've run out of things to say. And I tend to keep my pages separate, so sometimes I can babble on for 2-3 pages, and I think, well, if I just had a little bit extra room to add a few things on, or I'll remember something after I've finished journaling, and then these come in great, because then you would just put one on the page you've been journaling on, and then you can journal in it, journal, and then you put it back onto the page, and then you don't feel as though you've run out of room, and it's just so handy. So that was my first tutorial. I hope I didn't rub it on too much, and I hope I made it quite plain and clear. I really enjoy making these. It's one of my favourite little ephemera pieces, and I do make them out of, like with this one, I've made it out of vintage music paper, and I think this one's made with vintage music paper as well. And again, I do make them with just the 6x6 papers, just like this one. It's really quite versatile, and I hope that's useful. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you'll drop a like, and please come back and see more videos in the future. Thanks very much. Hope you have a lovely day, evening, night. Bye.